Well, it's been 114 years, as we're all too often reminded, since Hibs lifted this trophy. The players will come out onto the field of play very shortly. We can see them on our monitor here lining up in the tunnel, and they'll get first glimpse of that trophy that they're playing for this afternoon. And it's a chance for these 11 players in green and white corner for a little bit of redemption after the disappointment of what happened at the Falkirk Stadium a week past Friday. This gives them an opportunity to finish the season on a real high.
As well as that, they came here before in a cup final and didn't get the result they wanted. They've got a second bite of the cherry to lift a trophy for this season. Promotion didn't happen, but it'll all be forgotten about if they lift that trophy today, I can tell you that.
I tell you, the flames leaping from the side of the pitch there, we're well up at the back of the south stand, but you can feel the heat coming off them from up here.
I wouldn't want to be down pitch side, because you might have a bit of tan after they're done.
The team's taken to the field here at the National Stadium. Firework display before the game, and I'm pretty sure there'll be fireworks during the 90 minutes of it as well.
Throughout this season it's been Hibs and Rangers at lockerheads. That's been the story of the season in all the divisions. Celtic Aberdeen had a wee go at the title themselves, but it was always Hibs Rangers for most of the season, and it all kicked off with that Petrofac tie. We started the season off with that, didn't go our way unfortunately, but a chance to end it with a little bit of redemption, as you say, and I'm sure there will be fireworks on that park.
And the Hibs players will go along the line, shaking the hands of the officials and their opponents. The reason, of course, that Rangers are named first on the fixture are because the way the semi-final draw was drawn, the Rangers-Celtic game came out first, as opposed to Hibs and Dundee United played first, but it's done by the rules, the order that the teams come out the semi-final draw. So Rangers take precedence on the team sheet.
I believe our last couple of times we were in this final as well, we were also the home team, and this time with the away team. Hopefully it gives us a bit of better luck for that away dressing room.
Hopefully a little bit of a change. I see Alan Stubbs shaking hands with John Doolan down there. John Doolan sadly lost his father the day before the game against Falkirk last week, and Alan and John were down Liverpool at the beginning of the week for John's father's funeral, and I'm sure John Doolan would love to see Hibs win this trophy today for his dad, and I know Alan Stubbs as well. Him and John have been pals since they were kids, and he and John's dad very close as well.
So that little bit extra motivation to go out there, get the job done, and do everyone proud. I'm sure they'll be looking down on him, wishing his team the best today.
So we'll get we've had the customary photographs taken. Rangers just getting theirs pre-match photograph taken at the moment. Then there'll be the exchanging of the pennants, as if Hibs and Rangers don't know each other well enough. We'll just briefly run through the team lines for you. If you're just joining us again, Rangers go with Fotheringham, Tavernier, Kiernan, Wallace, Zalella, McMillan, Halliday, Mackay, Holt, Wilson and Waghorn. On the bench, Bell, Law, Clark, Shields and Burke. Hibs go with Conrad Logan, David Gray, Paul Hanlon, Liam Fontaine, Fraser Fivey, Dylan McGeoch, Lewis Stevenson, John McGinn, Darren McGregor, Anthony Stokes and Jason Cummings. And on the bench for Hibs, Mark Oxley, Liam Henderson, Marvin Bartley, Martin Boyle, James Kearings, Nicholas Gunnarsson and Chris Dagnall. Our match referee Stevie McLean, assisted by David McGeechie and Andrew McWilliam. The fourth official Bobby Madden, and the assistant referees, the goal line referees, John Beaton and Andrew Dallas. And the top goal line referees, they've not been without their controversy in the big games corner. Alan Muir last season, the semi-final between Celtic and Inverness Caledonian Thistle, didn't do himself any favours, failing to spot Josh Meeking's handball.
Well, apart from the assistant referees, who I don't really remember too well from some games, but Stephen McLean, Bobby Madden, John Beaton and Andrew Dallas, all the who's who of refereeing blunders at times over the past couple of seasons. Even in some of our games they made some mistakes, but for Scottish Cup final, they probably are the best officials in the country, apart from a few of the obvious ones like Craig Thompson and Willie Collum, who are apparently ranked highly. So hopefully they prove it today.
Rangers about to get us underway, attacking the goal to our right, housing the Hibs support. And we're underway. in the 2016 William Hill Scottish Cup final. Hibernian picks up for Rangers, plays the ball inside to Jason Holt, gets it back just inside the Hibs half. Holt immediately under pressure from Stokes. He's going to be penalised for the challenge on Jason Holt. He's going to get a wee word from Stephen McLean. Didn't see an awful lot in that, to be honest with you.
I noticed there Jason Cummins didn't hear the whistle and thought he was in with a chance to score there, but that'll make him hungry.
He'd kind of wonder why he suddenly found himself 10 yards in front of the Rangers defender. But Stokes, wee word from Stephen McLean there, and Rangers all the free kick just inside the Hibs half on this near touchline.
I think he was late, he's barged into him.
Yeah, it was. When you see on the monitor, it's a little bit more clumsy than it looked.
You know, it's the first minute of a Scottish Cup final. Passions are going to run high, people are going to get excited. Nobody's hurt, referee's kept his cards in his pockets. Sensible referee.
Zalelum for Rangers on the far side, just inside the Hibs half, plays the ball central to Halliday, squared to Kiernan. Kiernan finds Hibernian, who slips and then can only knock the ball out of play for a throw into Hibs. Trying to find Martin Waghorn, but Stevenson takes the throw quickly for McGeoch. Rolls it back to Conrad Logan in the Hibs goal. An early touch for the Hibs keeper. Drives the ball forward, right footed down the far touchline. In fact, he goes central. Cummings looking for the free kick there for the push in the back. Stevie McLean says no, and Hibs will have the throw in on the far side as David Gray manages to play the ball out off the shins of Barry Mackay. Throw into Hibs on the far side, midway inside their own half. 2 minutes gone, still goalless. I'm
just interested to see how Martin Waghorn fares in this one. He's also been out for a long time for injury. He's had a little bit of time to recover, but wondering if that match sharpness will be there for him.
It's Kenny Miller up against McGeoch. Ball falls for third chain, drives it forward down this near side. Kiernan got a touch on it, played it off Stokes back. Jason Holt now for Rangers on the halfway line, plays it to Waghorn on this near touch line. Waghorn just shows too much of it to Stevenson there and runs the ball out of play. And Hibs again will have the throw in on this near side. They'll be inside their own half. Taken to McGinn. McGinn shows too much of that to Vernier, but he's won it back again. John McGinn does well, and then he's fouled. Jason Cummings is allowed to play on, plays the ball to Stokes on this near side. Stokes, 18-yard box, can he get the shot away? He scores! Yes! Anthony Stokes opens the scoring for Hibernian in the 3rd minute of the game, and Stevie McLean allowed the game to continue. The ball was played into Anthony Stokes. He drove into the penalty area. Fotheringham came to meet him, and Stokes stroked the ball beyond him into the far corner. 3 minutes on the clock. Rangers nil, Hibs 1.
Great play from Anthony Stokes, and great refereeing as well from Stephen McLean to let that play on. And he drives into the box, Anthony Stokes, and he's got no support. Jason Cummins has played it through to him, so he's not in the box. He's got only one option. He's got to take it on his right foot. I think, is it Kiernan that stands off him far too long, and he picks his spot in that bottom corner. Excellent goal.
You couldn't have asked for a better start than that corner. It was a great finish from Anthony Stokes, by the way. Very, very composed.
Well, he could have put his laces through it. He doesn't. He just picks his spot.
Super finish. When you see it again, it's curled it round the goalkeeper, just in off the base of the far post. And what a start for Hibernian. Rangers nil, Hibs 1. 4 minutes on the clock. Anthony Stokes the scorer.
Well, that's the first time I've seen Hibs take the lead in a Scottish Cup final in my lifetime.
Yeah. Second time, Tony Higgins, who was out there before the game started, did it in 1979 in the 3rd replay. Rangers look very, very ring rusty at the moment.
Well, the first attack and we get the goal. Not need to commit men forward at this point in time, but let's keep the momentum up.
Fabulous start for Hibs. But they really need to keep building on that. That's good cut out by David Gray. Hibee now picks up, plays it down that far touchline for Gray. Hibee inside him. He'll get there, Fraser Hibee. Midway inside the Rangers half on the far touchline. Does well to hold that up. Can he play it infield now to McGinn? He does. McGinn's got Stevenson in acres of space down this near touchline. Stevenson got Stokes to help him. Stokes back out to Lewis Stevenson on this near touchline. Good interplay between Stokes and Stevenson. McGinn there to help out. He's got McGeoch inside him if he needs it. Hibee will play the ball now to the former Celtic midfielder. Gray outside if he wants him. McGeoch carelessly gives that one away to Zalelum. Picked up now on the far side by Barry Mackay. Goes long, but that's a nervy looking pass from Barry Mackay there. Looking for Martin Waghorn, who at the moment seems to be playing more as a right winger than anything else, Connor.
Yeah, they're sort of going with that sort of three-pronged attack. Miller running through the middle, Waghorn on the right, and I think Mackay's through the left. Yep. But neither of them really getting into the game so far.
Lee Wallace showed a little bit too much of that. Fraser Fivey thought about the challenge and then decided not to. Tavernier now for Rangers. Ball played through. Fontaine will cover that one and clears it for a throw into Rangers on this near side, midway inside the Hibs half. Tavernier takes, gets it back from Mackay. McGinn up against Tavernier. Does well. McGeoch will now pick up for Hibs and look to push them forward. He finds Fivey. Fivey skips away from Zalelum and plays the ball nicely to Gray down the far side. Gray drives over the halfway line, looks to take on Kiernan, finds Cummings outside the Rangers area. Cummings shoots, deflection off Danny Wilson, makes it easy for Wes Fotheringham, and he bowls the ball out overarm to Lee Wallace. Wilson now for Rangers, plays it down this near side for Tavernier. McGinns comes across to close it. Waghorn back to Tavernier, midway inside the Rangers half for Kiernan. Kiernan's ball down the far side is looking for Mackay, but it's cut out easily by David Gray. Darren McGregor, I'm sure a man with a point to prove today, former Rangers player as well.
Obviously felt a little bit unloved when Mark Warburton entered through the doors at Ibrox, and since he's came to us, it's been a brilliant signing, and I'm sure they'll have regretted it a little bit.
Kiernan plays the ball down the near side again for Tavernier to Halliday. Halliday sees Mackay run down the far side, but it's cut off by David Gray. Hibs content to allow Rangers possession in their own half. Kiernan plays the ball down the far side to Zalelum. Kenny Miller has gone out to the far touchline to Wallace. Miller watched well by Darren McGregor, gets the challenge in, and Rangers will have a throw in on the far side midway inside the Hibs half. 7 minutes on the clock. Rangers 0, Hibs 1. Anthony Stokes the goal scorer after 3 minutes.
I think John McGinn and Fraser had another big task today, protecting the full-backs, even if we do have 3 at the back.
Tavernier chips that one forward. Fontaine's ball is not great, it's cut out by Waghorn, but Stevenson covers it, and Fontaine under pressure, surely fouled there. That's right in front of the assistant referee. It's nothing. Rangers have possession in their own half through Danny Wilson. Wilson well won by David Gray. Cummings, he's got Gray outside him again. Can he play the skipper in? He does. Hibs need to get bodies forward. Gray is up against Wilson on the far side. Gray tries to get past there. He does well to win it back. Fraser Fivey, a free kick was going to be awarded to Rangers, I think, on the edge of the Rangers penalty area. Didn't see an awful lot in that.
No, I'm not sure about that one. I think that was 2 players going for the ball, and I think both of them slid in for it.
Yeah, I think Rangers got a little bit of a break there. Andy Halliday. Yep. Halliday certainly cleared it. Maybe Gray was a little bit late in the challenge.
I don't think he really makes much contact with
not really.
I think Andy Halliday's playing for that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just maybe take the pressure off a wee bit. Mackay drives over the halfway line for Rangers, plays it down the far side now for Zalelum, into the feet of Kenny Miller. Miller threads the ball through in the direction of Mackay, well won by Paul Hanlon, tells Fivey to leave it, now finds Jason Cummings. Cummings has got Stokes alongside him. Stokes finds Stevenson. Can Stevenson take on Tavernier? Looks to go back inside, threads it through into the channel for Cummings. He's got it in the 18-yard box. What can Jason Cummings do? Chance for Cummings. Ball breaks, doesn't fall for him. Stokes shoots right-footed, deflects off a Rangers man. That's corner kick to Hibs. Just didn't fall there for Jason Cummings. Stokes got the shot away. It took a deflection off a Rangers man, and Hibs will have the corner on this near side, which John McGinn will come across to take.
It's a great threaded ball from Lewis Stevenson there for Jason Cummings. Unfortunately, he's on his right foot. It makes a decent connection with it. Rangers man gets in the way. Anthony Stokes, good hit, just off a Rangers body.
McGinn with the corner, and it comes. It's missed by Stokes. Claims for handball there from Hibs. It's well won back by Darren McGregor. Just got too much on it this time. Throw into Rangers on the near side in line with their own 18-yard line. Coming up for 10 minutes gone here in this Scottish Cup final. Rangers 0, Hibs 1.
Started off at some pace this game already.
Certainly has, yeah. And that probably won't suit Rangers given that they've had 3 weeks off. Zalelum now plays the ball down the near side to Barry Mackay. Waghorn's gone back more into the central position. Tavernier finds Kenny Miller. Miller finds Tavernier again. He'll look to deliver a ball in. It's long. It's a poor delivery by Tavernier. David Gray will pick up on the far side for Hibs, and he'll look to go long. He finds Anthony Stokes. Stokes plays it beautifully for Cummings. Cummings is in here. Chance for Jason Cummings. He dragged it back there. He should have hit that first time. He tried to be too clever again, Jason Cummings. He had the run on the defender. It was on his left peg. He could have gone far corner. Tried to cut back inside and lost it.
Yeah, perfect ball from Anthony Stokes there, first time, as you say. Tries to cut in on his left peg, but the defender's smart enough to know he was going to do that. They'll do their homework on you, Jason.
Stevenson done well up against Tavernier there. Felt he was fouled and probably had a decent claim there. Nothing doing though. Zalelum for Rangers plays the ball in now for Kenny Miller. Through Paul Hanlon. That's going to be a free kick for Rangers right outside the Hibs penalty area. Soft.
Yeah, I think Fontaine just got caught goal side. That's Paul Hanlon.
Yeah, Paul Hanlon did run into the back of Jason Holt there. So free kick for Rangers in a dangerous position here.
Well, I'm not sure if James Tavernier is going to fancy this. It's
he
a
will,
decent angle.
You'd have to think that he will fancy it. Jason Holt seemed to go down awful easily again there. Hanlon did bump into the back of him, but
you know, you'd expect it from a Hibs player once you feel the contact in a position like that, try and win yourself the free kick, because if you know you've got a man like James Tavernier who can hit a ball from dead pieces, set pieces like that, you're going to want every chance you can get.
Halliday's over this one, as is Tavernier. Conrad Logan needs to get his wall sorted out here. First real chance of the game for Rangers here.
I fancy
This
Andy
stage,
Halliday
looks like he might be the one going to go for it. It's Tavernier leaves it. Halliday goes for it. Poor effort into the wall. Zalelum will pick it up. He's under pressure immediately from McGeoch. McGregor's out there to stop Jason Holt, and Rangers forced all the way back into their own half. Danny Wilson does well. Skips away from Jason Cummings. A shocking ball though from Danny Wilson, and the ball drifts out for a throw into Hibs on this near side. Just about in line with their own 18-yard line.
You know, at the moment, Rangers seeing a lot of the ball. Hibs are happy to let them have it because they're playing with it mostly in their own half or in that middle third. But as soon as they start approaching the Hibs final
looking
third,
at that corner there, and the ball did run down James Tavernier's arm. Rangers maybe a little bit lucky to get away with that. John McGinn in on Andy Halliday, does well to win it. Ball breaks kindly for Wilson though, plays it down the far side now for Lee Wallace. Wallace down the far side for Kenny Miller. Miller back to Zalelum midway inside the Hibs half. Zalelum turned round by Fraser Fivey. Miller gets it back, drops it off for Jason Holt. Back to Zalelum midway inside the Hibs half. Waghorn's free on this near side. Miller nods that one into the Hibs penalty area somewhat aimlessly, and it rolls harmlessly through to Conrad Logan. 13 minutes gone. Rangers 1, Rangers 0, Hibs 1.
Not too sure what they were trying to attempt there. Miller wasn't making a run, he was looking very static. That's an easy thing for Hibs to defend and Conrad Logan to collect.
Ball out for a throw into Hibs on the far side, midway inside the Rangers half. Cummings up against Wallace. Rangers skipper's forced to concede the throw in. And Hibs in a position that they want to be in at the moment.
Well, you can't win the cup if you're not winning at any point.
Exactly, yeah. Played in now for Halliday. 5A rolls it back to Fotheringham. Hibs need to get on top of Wes Fotheringham because he's not the cleverest with the ball at his feet. Tavernier tips the ball forward. That's well won by Dylan McGeoch. And Cummings get there. Oh, chance is broken for Stokes, edge of the 18-yard box. Stokes got the shot away. No flag. Didn't get much power in it. Easily gathered by Fotheringham. Rangers push forward down the far side. Wallace, the skipper, rolls the ball central to Zalelum. Chance again for Anthony Stokes there. Tavernier has got Waghorn outside him. He's faced down by Lewis Stevenson. Stevenson will get there, gets the challenge in, but has to concede the corner.
Good challenge by Lewis Stevenson, not diving in.
Taken shot. Zalelum with a chance to build for Rangers, finds Tavernier just outside the 18-yard box. Tavernier forced back to Halliday, looks to get the shot away, does well wide of Conrad Logan's near post. As we look at it, a quarter of an hour ticks down on the stadium clock, and it remains Rangers 0, Hibs 1. Anthony Stokes the scorer after 3 minutes.
That's been the longest 15 minutes or so since we've scored The Rangers have had a couple of chances. They've been.
Well, there's only another 75 to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I could take the rest of it, but so far so good for Hibs' point of view. They look strong defensively, apart from maybe giving away that foul for the free kick.
Looking very comfortable in possession as well, Hibs. Ball driven forward by Logan onto the head of Kiernan. Hibee can't win it. Kenny Miller plays it back to Lee Wallace. He's got Mackay outside him. David Gray in there. That's a good challenge by the Hibs skipper. Clears the ball long out for a throw in well into the Rangers half, and that was very alert from David Gray. Throw in taken quickly, finds Tavernier down this near side for Waghorn. Into the feet now of Zalelum. Kenny Miller leaves that one to Paul Hanlon. Does well to find John McGinn. Nice play by Hibs to get out of a tricky situation. Stevenson has Stokes down the near touchline. Stokes, can he take on Kiernan again? He does. It's the same sort of thing. Stokes rolls it for Cummings. Can he get the shot away? It's blocked. He got it on his left peg, but he just couldn't get the shot away. The ball played out there, well cut out again by Darren McGregor. Throw in again to Rangers on the far side, midway inside their own half. But Stokes, for a moment, I thought was going to try the same thing again.
Well, Kiernan just stood off him, Cliff. It was an exact repeat for the goal, but he was smart enough to look up and find Jason Cummins in a better position. But unluckily, it just took a little bit too long to take that shot away.
Blocked by a Rangers defender, and Rangers able to clear. Kenny Miller gives that one away. Lewis Stevenson does well to nod that down to Anthony Stokes. Steps on the ball, unfortunately. Stokes does well though up against Tavernier. Played through nicely, old Stevenson. If he'd beaten Kiernan there, Cummings was in.
The right idea from Lewis Stevenson there. A quick ball in behind. Cummins had made his run. No one
Rangers
picked him up.
have been susceptible to losing goals, though, Connor, we know that.
Yep, they've gifted us a few opportunities so far to extend our lead.
Halliday midway inside the Hibs half, rolls it short to Zalelum. Hibs have got bodies back, organised well defensively. Halliday plays it down the far side to Mackay. He's faced down by Dylan McGeoch. Mackay has to cut inside, finds Zalelum, edge of the 18-yard box, chipped in, easily played by Conrad Logan, and bowls it out very quickly overarm to Lewis Stevenson down this near touchline. Stevenson only has Cummings and Stokes ahead of him. McGinn did well, but he didn't stop Tavernier. That's well cut out by Liam Fontaine, and Paul Hanlon will complete the clearance. Goes long, but too much on that for Anthony Stokes. He tells Hanlon just to calm it down a little bit. Yeah,
I just think we're rushing it a little bit with the passing. Sometimes the clearance says we can take an extra touch, find a green jersey. You don't have to lump it up the park every time it gets in our final third.
Wilson plays it square to Kiernan. Kiernan's got Tavernier on the near touch line and gets it back. Kiernan just about on the halfway line on this near side. Going to be forced all the way back to Wes Foderingham. That's good work by Jason Cummings again. Foderingham plays the ball out down the far touch line now to Gideon Zalelum. Zalelum plays the ball out to Larry Mackay. Mackay chased infield by David Gray. Threaded through, well cut out by Paul Hanlon. And Hanlon bumped off that one. That's surely a free kick. Yep, Waghorn charging into Paul Hanlon there, and Hibs have the free kick on the far side.
At the moment it's Barry Mackay that's trying to get on the ball and create things for Rangers, but he's not getting a lot of movement from the rest of his team.
Which is fine, and if Hibs can stop the ball from getting to Mackay, then it does slow Rangers down.
Absolutely.
Conrad Logan has the free kick. He drives it forward right footed. There's one for Cummings to chase with Kiernan. Wallace does well to keep it in the far touchline. He's given it straight to Stokes in the 18-yard box. Stokes shoots, ball breaks back. Cummings can't get there. Oh, that was a real defensive piece of nonsense from Rangers there. McGeoch, he's got Gray outside him. Gray, can he get a decent delivery in here? Rolls it infield to Stokes. Stokes tries to thread it through for Cummings, but he can't get there. Hibs will have a throw in on the far side, midway inside the Rangers half.
Once again, Cliff, they're gifting us opportunities. We're going to have to punish them again at some point.
Yep.
It can't be one of those games again.
Chances.
So we just knock on the door, but don't get that second goal to really extend the lead and put us out a bit of pressure.
Gray to Hibee with a throw in. Hibee does well to hold it up on the far side, then finds Darren McGregor. McGregor rolls it back to Hanlon. Hanlon finds McGeoch in the centre circle. McGeoch plays the ball to McGregor. He's got Cummings ahead of him. He won it, couldn't cushion it down for Stokes. Given away again by Halliday in the direction of Stevenson, and that challenge there, James Tavernier was quite robust in that challenge of Stevenson. Kenny Miller on the near side now for Rangers. Midway inside the Hibs half, rolls it to Andy Halliday. Halliday plays the ball square to Lee Wallace. Out in the far touchline to Barry Mackay. Mackay drifts towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Ball played in for Waghorn. Defended well by McGregor. And Hibs play the ball out now in the direction of Anthony Stokes on this near touchline. Stokes will just hold it up and roll it back to Dylan McGeoch. McGeoch turns away from Martin Waghorn and then gets caught, and Hibs will have the free kick a couple of yards in from this near touchline, midway inside their own half. 21 minutes gone, Rangers 0, Hibs 1.
It's well played by Dylan McGeoch there. I thought maybe Liam Fontaine could have came more short for him and showed him an option, but he's done well to draw the foul from Martin Waghorn.
Stevenson was definitely caught in that challenge by Tavernier midway inside the Rangers half.
Tavernier did get the ball, but as you say, he was a bit robust in that one, and I think some referees might see that as a foul.
Logan forward, it's missed again by Tavernier. Stokes picks up on this near side, plays the ball in, it breaks off Tavernier's backside, and it didn't fall kindly for John McGinn, but McGinn's done brilliantly to get in ahead of Jason Holt. And at the moment, Connor, Rangers do look really ring rusty.
Yeah, well, that's, as we were saying over the last couple of weeks, they haven't played in a while. They've had one game against Spurs, but you don't get that intensity that you do in these cup finals. And at the moment, they look not very sharp at all.
Stokes back for Fontaine. Fontaine plays the ball out off Martin Waghorn. Hibs are the throw-in on the near side, just outside the Rangers 18-yard line. A second goal for Hibs would be a real cushion for them at this stage of proceedings. Stevenson from again, back for Stevenson. Stabs it forward for Stokes. Stokes can't get past Tavernier, but he'll win the throw-in for Hibs. Taken quickly by Fontaine. Cummings can't hold it up. McGinn does well to win it. Can he play in Stokes? McGinn goes in himself. Can he get the shot away? Tips it left-footed. Oh, just a fraction over the crossbar from John McGinn. West Fotheringham furious with his defenders. McGinn won the challenge, charged into the edge of the 18-yard box, chipped the ball towards the far corner, just too much on it, a foot or so over the crossbar, but a decent effort from John McGinn.
Yeah, great all-round play there from defensive side of winning the ball back, driving at the Rangers defence, cut inside, a little bit of creativity with that chip, at the end, over the roof of the net, but at the moment, as you say, Rangers are not closing people down quick enough, they're looking a bit slow to their own passes, and Hibs, they look brilliant at the moment.
Well won by Fontaine. Stokes tries to turn away from Kiernan, slips. The ball picked up by Tavernier. He squares it for Andy Halliday, who's immediately put under pressure by Jason Cummings. Wilson rolls the ball to Halliday to take the free kick, which was given for Cummings' challenge. Zalelum now for Rangers. Midway inside the Hibs half on the far side. Forced back again. Hope drops the ball off for Halliday. Plays it down the far side to Barry Mackay. Mackay chips through. McGregor will cut that one out, and Fraser Fyvie will pick up the loose ball on the far touchline. Chips it forward. Wilson brings the ball down, challenged immediately by Stokes. Gray forward to close down Barry Mackay. Lee Wallace back to Barry Mackay, but he's forced all the way back. Cross ball picked up now by Kiernan for Rangers midway inside his own half. Hope plays the ball nicely to Tavernier down this near side. Tavernier finds Waghorn, who's gone out into this right wing position again. Forward for Jason Holt. Forced back by Liam Fontaine. Halliday picks up midway inside the Hibs half. Halliday through for Kenny Miller. David Gray will just stab that back to Conrad Logan. Logan clears long into the Rangers half. It's picked up by Kiernan. Kiernan rolls it down the near touchline here to Tavernier. Hope challenged by Lewis Stevenson, and Hibs will have the throw-in on this near side. Jason Holt not happy about it.
Yeah, I think the referee initially tried to give for the Rangers, but his linesman's overruled, well, not overruled him, but he's told them no, you got that one wrong, I think. But I think at the moment we can maybe say we're a little bit guilty of stepping too far back. I think we're inviting them a little bit too much onto us. I think if we step up a little bit more, we'll put them under a lot more pressure and make them cause more mistakes.
Stevenson with a throw-in to Stokes. Back to Stevenson, just inside the Hibs half. Plays the ball forward, cut out though by Waghorn. Another throw-in for Hibs on the near side, just about on the halfway line. The clock ticks down to 25 minutes gone. Rangers 0, Hibs 1. Anthony Stokes the goal scorer after 3 minutes. composed finish from the unknown Celtic striker. Again, takes the ball in from Stevenson. Gives him it back. Stevenson long. Cummings is in behind. Flag was up very quickly.
Yeah, I think he might have just went a bit too quickly there, Jason Cummings, but can't really tell from the angle.
Tell from the camera angle.
I'm sure there'll be another one on in a second, but I think from where I was, looked a little bit like it was just maybe his foot or so.
Just needs to time the run a little bit better. Jason Cummings, maybe just a fraction. Yeah, he was just a fraction off.
I don't think he was really expecting the pass either. It was a bit of a creative one over the top.
With Danny Wilson at the edge of the Rangers 18-yard box. He's going to have to go all the way back to the red-shirted Wes Fotheringham in the Rangers goal. Fotheringham squares it again to Wilson. Stokes to Kiernan. Kiernan stabs it forward. Hibs getting forward and putting Rangers under pressure at the back here. Kiernan again forced back to Fotheringham. Stokes tries to put pressure on the Rangers keeper. Lee Wallace on the far side again. The ball's played back to Wes Fotheringham. He chips it forward this time, left-footed. Darren McGregor isn't going to win it. Kenny Miller does well to win that one for Barry Mackay. Waghorn's in space on this near side. Gets it. Waghorn faced down by Fontaine. Runs into trouble in the shape of Dylan McGeoch. The ball picked up now by Halliday midway inside the Hibs half. Tavernier chips the ball towards the back post. Oh, it's in the back of the net from Kenny Miller. The cross to the back post wasn't cut out by Hanlon or McGregor, and Miller got a free header at it. Conrad Logan beaten, and after 26 minutes it's Rangers 1, Hibs 1.
Yeah, it's a great header from Kenny Miller, a bullet header, and I don't think Conrad Logan could have really got to it. It's a good ball from James Tavernier from deep to whip that ball in, but we know he's got that ability to get that foot round it. I think we've got to say we maybe should be cutting out to stop that cross and cutting out the header a little bit better there.
First chance of the game for Rangers, and Kenny Miller buries it. So after the great start, they're all square again. Hibs have got it all to do again.
I think the problem is there, Kenny Miller's gotten the run on I think it's Darren McGregor or Paul Hanlon, as he's come from the back post.
Hibs just need to keep doing what they've been doing though, Connor. McGeoch gets away from Zalelum, plays the ball for McGinn. McGinn's caught there, that's a free kick surely. Halliday takes McGinn out the game. Nothing doing again. The ball played forward. Paul Hanlon slipped there. Rolls it back though to Conrad Logan, and he drives it forward right footed.
At the moment there's a few players looking like they're slipping on that surface. I don't know if they've wanted to
did well to find McGinn for Stokes. Stokes past his man. Can he get the shot away? He does. Oh, it's off the post from Anthony Stokes. What a fantastic effort from Stokes. Fotheringham beating all ends up from about 25 yards. The ball hits the base of the post, and it ran out along the goal line and didn't cross it.
Well, you knew as soon as Anthony Stokes crossed onto that right foot, he was letting that shot fly, and what a hit that is. Wes Fotheringham nowhere near it.
That deserved a goal. Brilliant again from Anthony Stokes. Fotheringham plays the ball out, he's given it away to Gray. McGeoch picks up for Hibs in the centre circle, plays it now for Stevenson. Stevenson's got Cummings down this near side. It's a clever ball. Jason Cummings, can he get there? He doesn't. Hibs will have a throw in right down beside the corner flag on this near side.
Well, what I think we need to make sure we do is don't get down beating it.
Flag must have gone up for offside, Connor.
Yeah,
again.
I think he was.
And Jason Cummings again caught in an offside position.
Well, there's a bit of confusion there because of the flare at the Rangers self end. Wes Fotheringham's not happy. He can't hear his defenders, and they're telling him that it's an offside. And they're looking like they don't understand what each other's saying at the moment.
The ball's now played back by Kiernan to Fotheringham. He's got the ball in his penalty area, beaten all ends up by that strike from Anthony Stokes. It comes back off the post, and it's moments like that, Connor, that, you know, Hibs just need the wee break, and they didn't get it there.
No, I think that's one of those situations where we could have been out to stop the cross a bit better, but we need to make sure we don't get downbeat about losing our lead. There's still plenty to play in this game.
Stevenson's done well to keep that in. He won't get there. He's elbowed out of it by Tavernier. I'm not sure that that's a shoulder charge. Leading with the arm, pushing Lewis Stevenson off the ball.
I think Lewis Stevenson's sprinting for his life to keep that ball in. He's always going to be off balance. James Tavernier's taken advantage of that with a little bit of an elbow.
Paul Hanlon does well, keeps it in on the near side, forward for Cummings. Cummings finds McGinn on this near touch line. In nicely for Stevenson, back again for Cummings. Cummings threads it through for Stokes. He's not going to get there ahead of Danny Wilson. Wilson does well to roll the ball to Kiernan. Hibs with no one forward in support of Stokes there. And Halliday will play the ball wide to Wilson.
I think that's one of the downsides of leaving somebody like Liam Henderson out, is he does like to be forward and play as that almost like a shadow striker and try and support them when somebody drops deep.
Halliday plays the ball to the feet of Kenny Miller. To Waghorn on this near touchline. Waghorn tries to get past Stevenson. He's going to get the free kick for obstruction. A little bit clumsy from Lewis Stevenson there.
No, I think Lewis knows he's been beaten there with a little ball outside him.
Yeah, he just kind of stood his ground and blocked Martin Waghorn.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten away with it if he didn't put his arms up. That's one thing I'll say.
Just a wee bit too obvious. Free kick to Rangers on the near side. Zalelum rolls the ball to Kiernan on the halfway line. Kiernan finds Zalelum. Got a fortunate touch there, Gideon Zalelum. Waghorn will get that, I think. Did just get it. And Rangers will have the corner. Waghorn stretching to keep that ball in.
Yeah, it looked a little bit slow there, Waghorn.
He did well though, he got it.
Yeah.
And Lewis Stevenson couldn't keep the ball in. And Rangers will have a corner on this near side. And it's funny how when a team gets an equaliser, all of a sudden the momentum switches a little bit.
Yeah, but once you're back in the game, you just start to get that spring in your step, don't you? You know, at the moment, Rangers look a little bit better than us, and I think that's just purely on the basis of the equaliser, that they've got a bit of confidence back in them.
Mackay will take the corner right-footed into the 18-yard box. It's a free header again from Kenny Miller. Nobody near him. He had all day there. It came back off the post. Hibs now with a chance to push forward. That's one each off the woodwork. McGinn charges forward. Plays it through in the direction of Cummings. Can he get there ahead of the keeper? He can't. Right idea from John McGinn. Just too much on it. And Kenny Miller with a free header there. That was atrocious defending from Hibs corner.
We are really going to have to look at ourselves defensively on that one, because Kenny Miller has punished us once with a header and we decide to leave him free again.
He had all day to pick his spot.
Yeah, and it was a great header. He got the power on it. He puts it quite high. Conor Logan wasn't getting to it, but he's just gotten it off the crossbar, and we've gotten away with that one, pure and simple.
We talked about getting breaks. We got one there, so it remains 1-1. 32 minutes gone. Kenny Miller with a glorious chance to put Rangers in the lead, which you'd probably have to say is not really deserved. The bulk of the opening half an hour has gone Hibs' way.
I think overall, Rangers have been making a few mistakes at the back, and again we just haven't punished them as much as we should have. But Rangers having a lot of the ball but not doing too much with it.
Miller plays the ball to Kiernan midway inside his own half. He plays it to Halliday on the halfway line. Halliday out on the far side to Jason Holt. Back to Halliday. And back to Danny Wilson. Just on halfway. Wilson pushes forward, chips it down this near side. Stevenson's caught out by the run from Waghorn on the near side. Waghorn in the penalty area. Stevenson gets a touch on it. It's cleared. Tavernier picks up though for Rangers. Squares the ball for Zalelum. Central, midway inside the Hibs half. Plays it again down the near side here to Tavernier. He'll look to take on Fraser Fivey. Played in, well cut out by Lewis Stevenson though. Rangers will have the throw in on this near side, midway inside the Hibs half. 33 minutes gone, 1-1.
At the moment for me, Cliff, the midfield is looking a little bit too deep with Rangers' attack. Someday maybe the strikers need to drop a little bit more to plug that gap between midfield and attack, because Zalelum and even Kenny Miller's dropping at times and getting acres of space at the edge of that box.
Danny Wilson for Rangers on the halfway line, plays it down the far side for Wallace. Wallace has got Holt central, midway inside the Hibs half. He plays it back to Kiernan on the halfway line on the near side. Given away though. Fontaine can stride forward. He's got time and space to do it. He plays it in the direction of Cummings. He does well to let the ball peel off Lee Wallace. Does well, keeps the ball in, plays it for David Gray. Gray finds McGinn midway inside the Rangers half, central. McGinn drifts across. Rolls the ball back from McGeoch. McGeoch plays it down this near side to Fraser Fivey. Fivey into the feet of Lewis Stevenson. Stevenson does well. Stevenson edge of the 18-yard box, turns away from his man, plays it out now to Fivey. Fivey leaves the ball behind, challenged by Zalelum. McGinn tackled and beaten there. A bit of miscommunication there, I think, between Fivey and McGinn. Waghorn was able to nick the ball away. Tavernier plays the ball to Halliday, who rolls it back to Wes Fotheringham. And with 35 minutes on the clock, it's Rangers 1, Hibs 1. Wilson goes long down this near side. Another chaser for Waghorn. He's not going to catch that one though. Out for a throw into Hibs on this near side in line with their own 18-yard line.
You can see what they're trying to do, trying to overload us on one side and swing it back over to Waghorn, who should, for them, be in space. Then Willie Stevenson and Liam Fontaine to be a little bit smarter and closing him down.
Fontaine with the throw in on this near side. Long in the direction of McGinn. Tavernier wins it. Stevenson nods it up in the air. Kenny Miller brings it down. Tavernier challenged by McGinn. Hibs just can't win possession there though. Tavernier caught late by John McGinn, and Rangers will have a free kick just about on the touchline, 10 yards or so inside the Hibs half on this near side. Clumsy challenge from John McGinn.
Yeah, one of those ones you let Tavernier know he's in that game. I think he's had a little bit too easy in this first half, down that right hand side. He's had acres of space, and maybe somebody just needs to get a little bit of hit on him.
Wilson plays the ball down the far side to Wallace. Holt back to Wallace. Mackay out in the far touchline. Chips the ball in, looks for the run from Wallace. Hanlon cuts it out well. Throw into Rangers on the far side, 10 yards or so inside the Hibs half. Barry Mackay will take. Been well policed down that far side so far by David Gray.
Yeah, he's been a little bit scared to go down the touchline. He's had to come inside quite a lot.
Gives it away to Hanlon. Hanlon for Fontaine. He has to go long. It's well left by Lee Wallace. Challenged by Anthony Stokes, but the ball drifts out for a throw into Rangers on the far side, midway inside their own half. Danny Wilson plays the ball central to Halliday. Down this near touchline to Tavernier, and rolled back to Kiernan. Kiernan to Wilson. Hibs need to put pressure on the Rangers back too. They think they're better footballers than they are.
Yeah, if they try and play with it, they'll make mistakes.
Tipped out by Fotheringham in the direction of Tavernier. That's a poor ball again from the Rangers keeper.
You say the Rangers centre-half think the footballers. I think the worst thing is somebody's told Wes Fotheringham he's a player, because he tries to play these World Cup balls, these clip passes into the tiniest of spaces, and he never pulls them off.
Throw into Hibs on the near side, midway inside the Rangers half. Stevenson, Cummings flicks it in the direction of Hibee. Hope does well. Played back now for Kiernan, squared for Danny Wilson. And Wilson will play the ball down the far side to Lee Wallace. Pushes on towards the halfway line. Wallace drops the ball back now for Zalelum. Zalelum threads it through in the direction of Waghorn, who's come more central. Waghorn turned, fancied the chip, saw Conrad Logan 10 yards off his line. Went for the chip, Charnley, miles wide.
Yeah, I fancy Conrad Logan to get on that, even if it was on target.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of power on it. It was just more of a pass back, really. But he can try them all day long.
Goal kick to Hibs, which Conrad Logan will take from the near side of his 6-yard box, right-footed. To drive this one into the Rangers half, the Hibs keeper. In the direction of Stokes. Stevenson it is that brings it down, but he only cushions it down for Tavernier. Well cut out though by Fontaine. McGinn now tries to play it through for Cummings, who'd made the run, and then McGinn played the ball short behind him. Wrong decision there from Jason Cummings, saying to McGinn play it long over the top.
I think McGinn sort of changed his mind as well, and he had that sort of half-hearted pass. He tried to pull out of it. Barry
Mackay down the far side. He's got away from David Gray this time. Gets the ball over, but it's not a great cross. Goal kick to Hibs. Barry Mackay charging past David Gray at pace. Had to get the cross in first time. Sails over the crossbar.
He's got some pace, doesn't he, Barry Mackay? David Gray will have to be more careful.
Sometimes he's not quite sure how to harness it though.
No, I think you've seen in this opening 39 minutes that he's been a little bit worried to go down that outside the line. He's not really whipped any of the balls in like that. You see, I think he's predominantly on his weaker foot out on that left. So he's had to come inside and maybe play those crossfield balls to Waghorn.
Logan drives the goal kick forward. It's met by the head of Rob Kiernan and is out for a throw into Hibs on this near side, midway inside their own half. Liam Fontaine, restored to the side today, will take, bowls it forward in the direction of Stokes, nodded forward again by Kiernan. McGeoch and Stevenson both in there. The ball broke nicely for Fraser Hibee. Darren McGregor rolls the ball back to Conrad Logan, and Logan goes long, right-footed. It's not going to fall for Anthony Stokes. Tavernier's ball cleared, picked up though by Stevenson for Hibs, into the feet of Fraser Hibee. Hibee has Stokes outside him on this near touchline. Stokes will look to run it to Vernier. Does. Inside Stokes, can he get the shot away? He does, and it's wide again. It's a great stop by Wes Foderingham. I think that one might have been going in the bottom corner, Connor.
Yeah,
it was indeed. That was a terrific save from Wes Foderingham from Anthony Stokes.
Yeah, just sneaking in that bottom corner. Great play from Anthony Stokes. We said before, James Tavernier is a great player for Rangers, but he's probably the weakest link.
That was in the bottom corner. It was a great save. Corner taken by McGinn. It's missed by McGregor. Gray will rush out. Can he keep that one in? He will. On the far touchline. Gray's up against Lee Wallace. Plays the ball in. Left. Cummings. Chance. Great save again by Foderingham. Nodded back in. Hibs can't get the ball into the danger zone. Darren McGregor's out there. He's done well. McGregor. He'll launch it back in. It's there. A chance. Oh! It was just too high at the back post for Stokes. The ball played in by McGregor. Hanlon threw himself and missed it. Hanlon threw himself and Stokes threw himself and got there, but it was just too high.
Just that ball bounced off the turf just in front of Anthony Stokes, and he had to take it at the height of his bounce, and he was never going to get that ball coming back down. He was underneath it.
Hibs are having chances here, Connor. They've got to put one away. Ball down the near side for Barry Mackay. Well won by Lewis Stevenson. Fivey can't pick up the loose ball. Tavernier now for Rangers, rolls it central to Zalelum. Fivey gets a touch in. McGinn can't get the ball, but Holt has given that one away. Tavernier got lucky there. Kenny Miller squeezes it out on the far side to Barry Mackay. Into the feet of Waghorn. Back again to Kenny Miller. Miller back out to Waghorn. Midway inside the Hibs half on the far side. Miller makes the run. David Gray has to get across there. Does well. Cuts it out. Easily gathered by Conrad Logan. 42 minutes on the clock. Rangers 1, Hibs 1. But again, at the moment, Hibs looking the more likely. Ball forward by Logan. Cummings is up against Wilson. He's done well.
It's a foul.
Feels he was fouled there. Jason Cummings. Stephen McLean doesn't want to know.
Jason's not happy with the linesman on that far side either.
Rangers in possession on the far side through Jason Holt. Just on the halfway line. Rolls it central to Zalelum. It's chased down by Jason Cummings. Zalelum under pressure there. Hibs win possession. Well won by John McGinn. Cummings now charging forward, pushes out to this near side. He's caught there again. Stevie McLean allows the play to continue. Jason Cummings can't buy a free kick at the moment. McGeoch picks up for Hibs. Central rolls it into the feet now of Fraser Fivey. Fivey for McGinn. Showed a little bit too much of it there to Zalelum, but he'll get the free kick.
Here we go. Here's the tension starting to rise a little bit now in this cup final. A few late tackles.
Hibs have got the free kick midway inside the Rangers half to the right hand side of the D. Sorry, the left hand side of the D as we look at it. McGinn was just clipped there by Zalelum. Not an awful lot in it. It was similar to the one that Tavernier got on the near side a bit earlier. McGinn's over this. He'll look to float this into the 18-yard box.
Well, we scored almost before half time in the League Cup final.
Rangers with only Martin Waghorn left forward.
Great if we can get another goal here just before half time. Really change.
Great time to score.
Change the team talk.
I've had chances to get a second, haven't taken them. McGinn floats it to the back post. Gray wins it, nods it back in. Cleared. It's well left there by Wilson for Kenny Miller. Ball cleared forward by Wilson for Waghorn. Mackay charging down this near side. If Waghorn sees him, that was good defending. Kenny Miller's picked up. Played through again for Waghorn. Dylan McGeoch calmly plays the ball back to Conrad Logan, and Hibs managed to work the ball clear down the far side. 1 minute remaining of the first half, plus whatever's added for stoppages, and it's Rangers 1, Hibs 1. Hibs will be furious though that they're going in on level terms, gifting a goal to Rangers from absolutely nothing. Fivey plays the ball to Gray down the far side. Gray back to Fivey. Fivey plays the ball central to Cummings. He's got space for the shot. Goes at it left footed. Far too much on it. Got far too under that. Lifts it high over the crossbar. Goal kick to Rangers. Poor effort.
Fair play for backing yourself, Jason, but I think the pass was the better option. Anthony Stokes had just peeled off Danny Wilson. I think if he looked up, he had a good clean pass and then goal.
It's optimistic from about 35 yards. Got far too much on it. Sails over the crossbar harmlessly.
Especially with 30 seconds to go before half time. You want to keep the pressure up. You want to try and get your best chance that you can in the last 9 minutes.
Ball played back to Foderingham, the edge of the 18-yard box. Stabs it out down the far side to Danny Wilson. The 45 minutes of the first half have come and gone, and that's enough for Stevie McLean. So half time here in this William Hill Scottish Cup final. Rangers 1, Hibs 1.
Firstly, I just want to say to everybody out there that support us, family, friends, well, first of all, I hope everybody's well and is able to keep well. This place isn't supposed to be empty, it's supposed to be full and vibrant, and I hope that it will be again sometime in the very near future. If I'm honest, we've been thinking about the season ticket campaign now for 3 or 4 months, and as most will know, we're normally out and having sold season tickets in February. We all want to look forward to some type of normality. We want to look forward to games back here at Easter Road, and we need to be ready for those games. The first thing we want to do is make it as easy as you can to buy a season ticket. We're going to offer some flexible finance options and be very flexible when it comes to deadlines and other things. The most important thing is that we want supporters to be back here as soon as they can. We want them to be enjoying the football. We also know that some supporters won't be able to purchase their season tickets at the minute, but importantly, those who can, we'd ask them to step forward, and those who can't, then we'll do all we can to help. Be safe, keep well, look after yourself, look after your neighbours, and be part of this big community. And we are also looking forward to the time when we play football here again. And you've never let us down. I know there are other things that are more important in life and in the world at the minute, but I think we do also need to look to the future and have a bit of normality as well. We haven't edited the campaign. We're going to let you see it as it was planned. It's about us as a big community, and I include everybody in the city and actually everybody in the wider nation.
This is our city, Edinburgh. New town, old town, our town, in all its glory. Hibernian. This is our place. Leith. Shaped by hard men and hard work. A community that sticks together through thick and thin. Good times and bad. That perseveres till the sun shines on Leith. This is our home, Easter Road, where you belong, where we belong, where we meet the challenges, share our dreams. Come the revolution, where else would you be? This is our city. We are all Hibs.
It starts to dawn on you what's expected as you approach Hampden. Just you take it in, you absorb it, as I say, I think everybody realises that it's a team bus, so they're waving you, they're cheering you on, and that motivates you as well.
I know really Rangers didn't fancy playing against us. We beat them twice and they beat us twice in the league, so we had nothing to fear, and we knew if we played to our best then we could give them a right good game.
I think you could just sense it. It was a big game and you could sense everybody was ready.
I seen it and my initial thought was back to what the manager said the night before in the hotel. This is your chance to be a hero, write yourself in the history book.
Time for heroes, but it's a time to stand up and be counted.
Picked up by McGinn to McGeoch. Finds Stevenson in space enough to put the cross in. It's missed by the Rake defence. With the back post, Darren McGregor! How about that from your centre half? A magnificent first touch strike from Darren McGregor to put Hibs ahead here in the Scottish Cup. No more than Hibs deserve here at Starks Park. Ross comes in. It's completely missed by the Rake defence. And falls to Darren McGregor, who has all the time in the world but doesn't need it. Throw in from Stevenson, finds McGinn. Good hold-up play from McGinn, does well to get the pass back to Stevenson. He put the cross in, he's looking for an option. He finds Dominique Malonga on the edge of the box. Malonga! Oh, that is magnificent from Dominique Malonga. And what a strike from the Hibs front man. Hibs 2 to the good. He goes to celebrate with the fans. What a strike that is from Dominique Malonga.
Henderson takes a free kick quickly for Hibs. Pops the ball back in. Cummings. Oh, it's in the net! Jason Cummings loops a header up over Neil Alexander! Out of nothing!
What a goal that is from Jason Cummings, all alone in the box, and it's a great flicked header. Neil Alexander thinks it's going over the bar, and he's just left it, and somehow it's snuck into the post.
It's looked over the goalkeeper. Hibs have got bodies in there. The ball comes in now from McGinn towards the back post. It's what a save by Alexander, the ball falls, it's in the net! And Hibs have the equaliser here at Tynecastle! The 90th minute! I don't know who it was, Connor, that got the touch.
I think it was Paul Hanlon.
It might have been Paul Hanlon. What a save from Neil Alexander, but Paul Hanlon slid in, knocks the ball into the back of the net, and in the 90th minute it's all square at Tynecastle. Hearts 2, Hibs 2. 10 yards or so outside the 18-yard box. Henderson drops it off to Bartley. Nice to Gray. Again, decent delivery needed from Gray. It's a great ball. And Jason Cummings! Cummings has the opener for Hibernian! 3 minutes on the clock. Beautiful delivery from David Gray. And who else against Hearts but Jason Cummings? 6 yards out. Neil Alexander asking his defenders where they were. Jason Cummings hammers the ball into the net. And Hibs have the lead here in the Edinburgh Derby.
With Stokes. Back to the Irishman. Gray. And it is James Keatings. And you have to say it has been coming.
Well, that's exactly what Hibs are looking for. Start the second half well, pressure Cali Thistle. Now they've got the reward, and Anthony Stokes plays a huge part in this again. Just the skill, the composure, picking out the pass. David Gray into Keatings, and the ball's in the back of the net. It's one of these goals. Terrific goal. The build-up is great. Anthony Stokes, great skill there then. Perfect pass. Ball into the danger area. Bang. Back of the net.
Bartley out to Cummings. He's got Stevenson inside. Good ball from the left back. Was misread. It drops to Anthony Stokes. It's in! And that will give Hibs a much needed goal. And on a wet and windy night in Inverness, it's Hibs who get the breakthrough. A wonderful towering ball from Stevenson lands at the feet of Anthony Stokes and in the back of the net. Drops for Jason Cummings. Inverness can't get it away. And how about that for reading of the game by Liam Henderson? Henderson, Cummings, Stokes, magic! Anthony Stokes for 2. And that should all but wrap it up in this cup replay for Hibs. Henderson's reading of the game, absolutely impeccable. And Anthony Stokes to finish it off.
Blair Spittle's up first. The penalty's been taken into the east goal of Hampden Park. United went through against Hibs on penalties in the quarter-final of the League Cup last season, and Blair Spittle is up first here. Well, wouldn't you know it, the man of the moment does it again.
It's not a great penalty, it's a good height, but he gets his right and he gets his hands behind it. An advantage him straight away, far too close to the goalkeeper.
Willie Mackay missed a couple of really good chances. And another save from Logan!
Absolutely incredible, he's having the game of his life. He may not have played for a while, but he's been an absolute star this afternoon. This is a better penalty. But once again, the goalkeeper figures that's where it's going.
Jason Cummings has the chance to put Hibernian into the final, coming after that horror story in the first half.
Well, it's one of these ones that you know he's not going to chip it, but he has two options. He tries to go for a corner, or he can just go for power.
Here he goes. It is glory, glory to the Hibees! Jason Cummings can erase all memories of that penalty miss in the first half. He has taken Hibs through to the final with more than a helping hand from Conrad Logan.
The teams are now back on the park here at the National Stadium. Hibs will get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our right, which is housing the Hibs support behind the goal. Half time, Hibs 1, Rangers 1. Anthony Stokes after 3 minutes, opening the scoring for Hibs. Kenny Miller equalising for Rangers after 27 minutes. Thereafter, Stokes hit the woodwork, Miller hit the woodwork. Stokes got a great save out of West Fotheringham.
As you say, it's the first time I've ever seen Hibs leading a Scottish Cup final. It's the first one since we won the League Cup in 2007. And I think for me, it's given a brief insight of how it'll feel if we do go on to win that cup.
As the banner said, Connor, it's a time for heroes. 45 minutes left for these 11 men in green and white jerseys to make themselves heroes for the rest of their lives. The magnitude of what they could do here this afternoon is not lost on anybody. Stevie McLean gets us underway for the second half here. McGeoch rolls the ball back to Fontaine. He goes long in the direction of Stokes. Kiernan picks that up. It's stabbed out to Tavernier, who'll clear long down the far side looking for Waghorn. Fontaine hooks the ball in. Fivey does well. Flicks the ball nicely out to Cummings. Cummings plays the ball to McGinn. Gets it back from Stevenson on the far side. McGeoch rolls it central to Fivey. Fivey plays it down the far side again for Lewis Stevenson. Stevenson looks to run down that far touchline, drops it off for Jason Cummings. Cummings plays it in for McGinn. Hard ball. Cummings does well to scoop the ball in. It's nodded out by Kiernan. Should be picked up by Stevenson. He's nicked away from him by Zalelum though. And forward to Waghorn. Waghorn holds it up well up against Fontaine. Stevenson gets the challenge and Rangers will have the throw in on the far side, midway inside their own half.
Yep, good link-up play between John McGinn and then Jason Cummings there on that left-hand side. Unfortunately, Lewis Stevenson just died on the ball a little bit too long and invited Zalelum to come and pinch it back off him, but he's won it back.
Played down this near side now for Lee Wallace. Wallace into the feet of Barry Mackay. Mackay faced down by David Gray. Mackay drives in central towards the halfway line. He showed far too much of that to McGinn, but he won it. McGinn should have perhaps taken that ball away. Waghorn on the far side now, edge the 18-yard box, skips away from Stevenson. Waghorn tumbles in the penalty box. David Gray speaks to Stevie McLean as if to say, where's the card for that? Seemed to go down awful easily again under the challenge, and Conrad Logan out there to just calm down any bad blood that there might have been.
Yep. Trying to do his wee step overs.
Yeah, he did, and that's just a pure dive.
There's Lewis Stevenson.
That's a yellow card for me every day of the week. He's gone down there. Stevenson's not even touched him.
Nope.
Not even touched him. That's blatant cheating.
You
without that.
You don't want to see that in a Scottish Cup final. You want to see the game won in the purest sense.
Well won by McGeoch. Cummings can't pick up the second ball. McGeoch's picked up again for Hibs, just inside his own half. Under pressure from Zalelum on this near side. Into Fraser Fivey. Fivey does well. Back to McGeoch. He can play it back to Conrad Logan. Takes the pressure off Hibs a little bit. Logan chips the ball forward, right footed towards Jason Cummings on halfway. Won by Danny Wilson. Nodded back for Lee Wallace. McGinn down this near side to Kenny Miller. McGinn does well but can't keep the ball in play. And Rangers will have the throw in on this near side, midway inside their own half.
Just to get to that stage now, you start to get the butterflies in the cup final.
Yeah.
Second half, it's do or die.
Played down the far side now for Tavernier. He's got Waghorn outside him. Stevenson's kind of on his own. Tavernier out to that far touchline, then rolls it out to Waghorn. Waghorn cuts back to the edge of the 18-yard box. Stevenson gets a touch on it. It's picked up by Zalelum for Rangers. He rolls it back now to Andy Halliday. Halliday will play it down the near side here to Lee Wallace. Wallace back into the feet of Kenny Miller, playing as a central midfielder at the moment. Miller turns back, rolls the ball into the feet of Jason Holt. Back to Miller. Back in again for Mackay. It's well won by Liam Fontaine. Good strength by Fontaine. Does well. Held on to it too long though. Perhaps should have played the ball to Cummings a little quicker than he did. Stokes puts Fotheringham under pressure. Played out on the near side. Fontaine tries to challenge Danny Wilson. Wilson does enough to get the ball squared though to Tavernier. Tavernier looking for the run there from Waghorn on the far touchline. It's into the feet of Waghorn. He's faced down by Stevenson. Poor ball in by Waghorn, easily gathered by Conrad Logan around about the penalty spot. 49 minutes gone, Rangers 1, Hibs 1.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on Liam Fontaine. He charged up that park and left a big gap in defence, but Darren McGregor and Paul Hanlon quick to communicate with each other, make sure they were still within touching distance really.
Logan's ball long down the far touchline, just bouncing away from Anthony Stokes there. Cummings quickly out to try and close Rangers down. The ball's picked up by Wilson on the edge of his own 18-yard box. Poor ball by Danny Wilson, throw into Hibs on the near side. Wilson's ball for Lee Wallace was a shocker.
I'm still surprised at the way they try and play football at the back. Somebody's told some of these players that they play for Barcelona.
McGeoch does well, rolls it for Hanlon, central. Hanlon, good ball out in the far touchline for Stevenson. Hanlon's continued forward. Stokes, edge of the 18-yard box, he's gone for the shot. Foddering him down low to his near post. Gets fingertips on it, corner Hibs. Another good effort from Anthony Stokes.
Great strike there on his right foot, and it's just dipped in front of West Foderingham, which has forced him to not really get his hands on it to hold it. He's just had to palm it away to make sure it doesn't go on the back of the net.
Could have had 4 by now, Anthony Stokes.
Looking at that, it's
McGinn's corner to the back post. Fontaine's there. Can't get there. Is it off a Rangers head? Nope. Stevie McLean says goal kick. Rangers, much to the ire of the Hibs support.
I don't think any of the officials really knew what decision to give there. The referee, or the linesman, sorry, was really just waiting to see if anybody could back him up in his decision.
Liam Fontaine incredulously looks towards Stevie McLean. Rangers trying to play football out from the back again, and Hibs immediately have them under pressure. Halliday plays the ball now for Zelalem. Strides over the halfway line, plays it down this near side to Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller plays the ball central now to Holt, drops it back off to Zelalem. Zelalem forced back the way again by Dylan McGeoch. Ball out of the near touchline now to Lee Wallace. Holt to Zelalem. Zelalem tries to thread it through for Waghorn, easily cut out by Fontaine. Stevenson does well to nod that one back down for John McGinn. Can McGinn go long looking for Cummings on this near side? It's over Wilson's head. Cummings, edge of the 18-yard box, near side. Can he get round to the byline? He can, and he can't get past Danny Wilson again. There's only been one winner in that battle so far to date. Danny Wilson. Gray down the touchline now for 5-8. 5-8 challenged and beaten there by Lee Wallace. Hibs had the throw in on the near side, midway inside the Rangers half.
Yep, Fraser 5 just getting boxed in a little bit there, done well to draw the tackle to win that throw in. Ease the pressure a little bit, slow the game down.
David Gray with the throw in for Hibs, midway inside the Rangers half on this near side. Looking for some movement, not getting it. Goes short to Cummings. Gray gets it back, then runs into trouble in the shape of Jason Holt. Well, that's never a Rangers throw in a million years. That's never a Rangers
Lee Wallace was turning around to go start defending, picking up a man because he assumed it was a Hibs ball.
Absolutely dreadful decision from the near side assistant David McGeechy. Sure what game he's watching, but it's not the same one as me. And that gives Rangers a chance. Alan Stubbs is going to come out and have a shot at the edge of the technical area. Fontaine skipped away by Tavernier. Rangers pushing forward, but Tavernier just put too much on that.
Yeah, he's
Stevenson guiding him out the park.
Yep, Stevenson doing well to kind of get the foot in and clip it off his feet. He thinks he's Ronaldo at times. Tavernier tries to take on too many men.
Hibs had the throw in on the far side, forward by Stevenson. Cummings brings that one down. Tough ball to take under control. There'll be a Rangers throw out off Jason Cummings, I think. Hibs fans on the far side didn't seem to think so though.
Yeah, I think it probably was, unfortunately.
Hard one again, but these 50-50s seem to be going Rangers' way at the moment. Ball down the near side for Kenny Miller. Shot to Zelalem, back to Miller. Miller into Halliday, central. Halliday rolls it short again for Zelalem. He has to run out the referee's road there. Zelalem short again for Halliday. McGinn leans in. Hibs don't need to give a free kick away there. Can't get the ball clear though. Halliday challenged by McGinn. McGinn's done brilliantly. Surely he's fouled there, John McGinn. Oh, come on, Stevie McLean. How much does he have to be fouled? Clear again from Stevie McLean there. Plays a 5-8, does well. Nice play by 5-8. Good challenge there though by Jason Holt. Hibs will have the throw in on the near side, midway inside their own half. Plays a 5-8, just a little bit slow getting the ball forward there.
Anthony Stokes and acres of space there down this near touchline could have released them a bit quicker, but Rangers starting to turn the pressure up a little bit with the ball. So it's nice to see that.
Gray forward for Cummings. He's kept that ball in play. It's allowed to continue. He'll go down the near touchline, Jason Cummings, but he's muscled out again by Danny Wilson.
I don't see why he wants to go down that near touchline.
I mean either. The ball's on his right foot, which isn't his strongest.
He's got no options to swing the ball in either, so once he gets out there, he's going to have to come back inside. I think Anthony Stokes was in acres of space again. He's got to release him.
Hibee does well, but can't keep the ball in play. Has to concede the throw into Rangers on the near side. Midway inside the Rangers half. Kenny Miller leaves it for Lee Wallace, who wants a different ball. Wallace with the throw in back to Wilson. Wilson squared to Kiernan. Kiernan strides forward. Nobody in a green shirt closing him down. Into the feet of Waghorn. Played by Halliday, square to Wilson. Wilson plays it for Miller. McGeoch should win that one. Can't win the second ball though. John McGinn is in there. Liam Fontaine will win the scraps. Goes long, looking for a chase there for Stokes. Stokes in a chase with Kiernan. Kiernan gets there first. Plays it forward. Stevenson in. Oh, that's got to be a yellow card for James Tavernier. Poor challenge by the Rangers man on Lewis Stevenson. Stevenson had won the ball, all ends up, nicked it away from the Rangers man, lunged into the challenge, feet off the ground. No question, that's a yellow card.
Stupid challenge from Tavernier. He's never getting to it before Lewis Stevenson. Stevenson showing incredible pace there to get to it before him. Just nicks it over him and he draws. He knows Tavernier's diving in.
He's left the foot up, James Tavernier, as well. It's not a good challenge.
Yeah, it's a bit cheeky, but as a full back, it limits his game to really, we can't really dive into those challenges. And
McGinn will take the free kick for Hibs on the far side, midway inside the Rangers half, 10 yards, a couple of yards rather, in from the far touchline.
Good delivery.
McGinn floats it in, left footed. It's Fontaine that got there. Flying effort from Liam Fontaine. He got the head on it, but could only guide it wide of the post.
Yeah, good power on it as well from Fontaine. I think it would be beating the keeper if it just had a couple of extra inches to the left. But,
he did well to get there, Liam Fontaine.
Good ball in from McGinn as well.
56 minutes gone here at the National Stadium. It remains Rangers 1, Hibs 1. It's well won again by John McGinn. Played out on the far side now for Tavernier. Played forward into the feet of Mackay. It's turned away from Fontaine. Chips it down the near side for Kenny Miller. Miller's ball over for Waghorn. He's got the head on it, but he's guided it well over the crossbar. And that was Rangers just catching Hibs on the break there, Connor.
Yeah, it was a good idea from Kenny Miller to try and swing that ball back in, but Waghorn wasn't really switched on to make the better run. He was never really going to beat Conrad Logan from a header from there, but as you say, it's a warning sign that if we commit too many men forward, especially the defenders, there's spaces opening up for Kenny Miller to try and expose, even with the three centre-halves.
Goal kick to Hibs though. Far side, Conrad Logan will take right footed. You're not sure Lee Griffiths we see in the crowd opposite us. Driven forward there by Logan. Stokes has done well. Cummings can't get there. Tavernier does. Played forward. Stevenson cuts it out well. McGeoch hard ball to control. He's done well though. Nodded it forward. Tavernier does well. Back for Kiernan. Stokes across to put the Rangers man under pressure. And a long ball from Kiernan will drift harmlessly through to Conrad Logan in the Hibs goal.
Matt Warburton raising his hands there and saying, what are you doing? It's a shocking ball behind. You're just gifting possession back. But that goes to show that if we push them high up the park and we pressure them, the ball gives the ball back to us at times.
Forward by Logan. Stokes has done well to turn Tavernier on the far side. Tries to drop the ball off for Lewis Stevenson, but he can't. Rangers a chance to clear the lines. It's battered forward for Jason Holt. Stevie McLean is going to give a free kick there.
You know, I watched Stevie McLean there and he didn't even see it at all.
I think it's the assistant on the near side here.
I don't think there was much in it, to be honest with you.
Given the free kick.
I think he's played for that once again. I think it's Andy Halliday again.
Surprisingly enough, yep.
I'm just telling Stephen McLean that he was a Rangers fan since birth, was he? So he's not mentioned it for an hour.
Andy Halliday seems to go down an awful easily.
He's
cleared the ball and his foot as he's clearing it has caught Anthony Stokes. That's never a free kick in a million years.
Stokes hasn't dangled the leg out at all. He's kicked in.
Poor. It's given Rangers a chance to get possession and push forward though. Zalelum gives it away. Hibee catches him and that'll be a yellow card I think for Fraser Hibee.
Yep. Bit clumsy from Fraser Hibee. Didn't need to dive in like that.
It was a clumsy challenge from Hibee.
Yeah, you knew as soon as he was running in like that he was going to be giving away the foul.
Zalelum just skipped away from Hibee. Chops the Rangers man down. Clumsy challenge. It was the trailing foot that actually caught the Rangers man. He missed him with the first one.
Oh.
It was a clumsy challenge.
Made some contact on him.
And I say it was the trailing foot that caught him.
Yeah.
Rangers have got the free kick to the right of the D. Midway inside the Hibs half.
Again, no, we don't need to be giving away the possession in these areas for them to swing a ball in or hit a strike.
Hibernian again. Dean Shields is out warming up for Rangers on this near touchline. Hibernian will have the opportunity here to float this ball into the Hibs penalty area. For a clumsy challenge from Hibee. The ball comes in, easily gathered by Conrad Logan. Kenny Miller flinging himself in there. This time Liam Fontaine did match his run. And it was hopeful more than anything else there from Kenny Miller. Logan chips the ball down this near side for David Gray. That's a clever ball by the keeper. Gray does well. Caught there surely by Mackay. McGeoch will play the ball back to Darren McGregor. McGregor into the centre circle for John McGinn. Good turn from McGinn. Charges forward. Plays the ball down the far side now for Cummings. Edge of the 18-yard box. It's a poor ball from Jason Cummings. Poor delivery from Cummings there. He saw Hibee getting there at the back post, but hammered the ball high with power across the goal. Poor delivery.
Great phase of play though from Hibs. John McGinn doing an excellent little turn in the middle of that park to open the pitch up for himself and drive at the Rangers defence. As you say, Jason Cummings he's not really picked anybody out, not put in a dangerous area, just too hard and over everyone else in the box.
Wallace rolls the ball short to Jason Hope just inside the Rangers half. He finds Zalelum in the centre circle just inside the Hibs half. Zalelum plays the ball back for Hope and gets it back again. Rangers being very patient in possession. Jason Hope will play the ball down the far side now to Tavernier. Tavernier delivers the ball in again. Conrad Logan alerts it. And again, this time Paul Hanlon had matched the run of Kenny Miller. Hibee plays the ball nicely down the near side for David Gray. Gray chips it in. It's a poor ball though. Looking for Cummings, but too much on it. The hour mark's come and gone, and it's still 1-1 here at the National Stadium.
We're looking like we're resorting to a few long balls at the moment. I'd like to see us maybe try and look for that pass along the ground. Maybe somebody like Jason Cummings, one of the strikers, needs to drop short in those situations.
Rangers going to make the change. Dean Shields will be introduced into the proceedings. Played out down the far side though for Tavernier. He's got Waghorn out there as well. I wonder if it might be Waghorn that leaves the field. Skips across, finds Zalelum. Zalelum plays the ball down the near side for Mackay. Hibs need to keep it tight here. That's good defending by David Gray, and he wins the goal kick.
Well played, David Gray. Well played.
Off Barry Mackay. Good work by the Hibs skipper there. And Hibs will have the goal kick. And Rangers will get the chance to make the change.
Once again, Barry Mackay out in that.
It's Gideon Zalelum that's going to be replaced by Dean Shields.
See, I'm quite surprised at that. I thought he's had a good game for them, Zalelum. He's quite nippy. He covered some of the grounds, and I thought he might have kept him off. Like you say, Waghorn maybe might have came off, but I suppose he's a big game player for them, Waghorn. I don't think he'd be seen to maybe take him off.
We know the quality of player that Dean Shields is.
Yeah, we know him obviously well from the time with ourselves, even at Kilmarnock, and over the last 2 years at Rangers when we've been in the same division as them. He is a decent player.
Ball forward from Logan. It's won well by Kiernan. In fact, it's Wilson that won it ahead of David Gray. Hibs had the throw in on the near side, midway inside the Rangers half. David Gray will take. Doesn't fancy that ball.
Is there something wrong with that ball, do you think?
Must be, yeah.
There's a few of them now that returning it.
Gray will take the throw in for Hibs on this near side, into the feet of Anthony Stokes, 10 yards outside the 18-yard box. Back for Gray. Good work by Barry Mackay. Slid in to rob David Gray. Forward, Kenny Miller knocks it down nicely for Shields. Shields just drops it off calmly for Andy Halliday. Lee Wallace rolls the ball back there to Halliday. The Rangers will keep the play moving. Halliday strides forward over the halfway line. Got Mackay outside him on this near touch line. Mackay into the path of Halliday. McGregor will win that one. Takes no chances, plays the ball out for a throw into Rangers. I thought Conrad Logan might have been able to help him a bit more there.
Yeah, I think McGregor was hoping it had a little bit more pace in it to let it see out for a goal kick, but it's just kind of hung up a little bit.
Mackay threads it short to Kenny Miller. Miller's ball through, should be defended well by David Gray. Gray goes up the touchline, but the ball's out of play for a throw into Rangers again. On this near side, just outside the Hibs 18-yard line. Taken by Wallace for Mackay. He'll look to play the ball into the feet of Halliday. Halliday looks to get the shot away. Oh, he scored an absolute perler! And Conrad Logan is absolutely livid with Paul Hanlon and Darren McGregor for not closing that down.
Well, for me, I think somebody in the midfield has got to be out to him quicker as well. Dylan McGeer comes on, McGinn looking a bit powder puff there as he passes him. And then when he's got that space with his left foot, he can punish you.
That's an absolute beauty of a strike from Andy Halliday, but Hibs, again, have got to get that ball closed down. And it's one hell of a strike from Halliday. You can't argue with the finish. It's beating Conrad Logan always up. A terrific strike from Halliday. And Hibs now have it all to do here. Rangers 2, Hibs 1 after 64 minutes. Change being made. James Keating's coming on in place of Jason Cummings. That's an absolute screamer of a strike from Halliday.
Yeah, you just felt as soon as that left his foot, that was on target, and Conrad Logan was in a little bit of trouble there. But I think that's the positive change there, getting Jason Cummings off. It's not been his day at all.
Has to be. And Hibs now need to go for broke. 25 minutes remaining. And it's one on the far side by Stevenson. Played out down that far side now. Stevenson, can he get there? He can't. He's going to be pulled back for a free kick.
I don't think there's much in that.
Not much in that. Again, Jason Holt looks like he's got in front of Lewis Stevenson. He's fallen over. Free kick to Rangers inside their own 18-yard box. And from a position of being in control of the game, in my view, Hibs now find themselves behind again.
And I think at some point soon we might have to see a centre half coming off from someone like Liam Henderson.
Gray does well to find Keatings, who finds Hibee. McGeoch. There's not Hibee there to help again. Hibee in a little bit of space on this near side. Stabs it in for Stokes. Stokes chips it. Ooh, just over the crossbar. Decent effort again from Stokes. He had Fotheringham scrambling back.
Yeah, but once again, no, I don't think it's a great effort.
It's optimistic.
Yeah, it's just kind of gifted him it back. West Fotheringham he was underneath it. He was probably going to get it if it was dipping under the crossbar, but
Fotheringham clears long. Kenny Miller up against Paul Hanlon. And Conrad Logan was absolutely furious there with that goal. He feels that shot should have been closed down from Andy Halliday, and he's probably got a point.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday, especially in the midfield phase of 5, John McGinn letting him run past there. It's a bit tame, to say the least, from them.
Logan's ball is long, and it will drift out for a throw into Rangers on the far side, midway inside their own half. And Hibs just need to screw the nut here a little bit. There's still plenty of time left. 24 minutes.
Well, this is where the character has to come through. You know, in behind from a cup final, we've led it already. We know we can get the goal in if we press them high out the park.
Fontaine does well on the far side and wins the ball off Waghorn. Hibs have the throw in. Fontaine quickly down the far side for Stokes. Stokes up against Hibernian on the far touchline. Does well, gets the ball over. David Gray's in there. Hibs need to pick up the scraps here. Fivey does. As well, Fraser Fivey rolls the ball central to McGeoch. He does well, charges forward, leaves it for McGinn. McGinn plays it well to Stokes out on the far touchline, far edge of the 18-yard box. Stokes, can he get round the man? Stokes, shot away, wide of the post. Optimistic again from Anthony Stokes. He's had chances, but they've been closer than that.
Yep, this time obviously he's running in. James Tavernier doesn't stand off him. He doesn't dive in either. He doesn't offer him an opportunity to come inside. And he knows he's weaker on that left foot.
Tavernier in possession on the far side for Rangers. Stokes' effort there was poor, well wide of the post. Played down this near side now for Lee Wallace, and he's got space to work into. Played out again to Harry Mackay on this near side. Played out again to Kenny Miller. Folks drops it off to Miller. Miller back again to Harry Mackay. Rangers content to keep possession at the moment. Shields plays the ball into the feet of Mackay. Chip forward, Miller offside, flag up. Miller just knocks that ball away from Conrad Logan to stop him taking a quick free kick for Hibs.
Now at the moment, I think for me Fraser Fivey's offering a little bit too much space to some of the Rangers players. He's not getting out into them quick enough.
Logan goes long, Keatings won't get there. He's Easily muscled out of that by Danny Wilson, who then takes the return from Fotheringham. Fotheringham at the edge of his box, tips it forward left footed. It's well won by David Gray, got in nicely by Keatings. He's going to be penalised for that challenge, James Keatings, on Lee Wallace, and he'll get a wee word from Stephen McLean.
That's quite naughty there for James Keatings. But
another change for Hibs. Liam Henderson's going to be introduced, might be in place of Dylan McGeoch, who's probably feeling the pace out there a little bit.
I'm not too sure.
Maybe Fraser Fivey.
Yeah, I think if
it's Liam Fontaine.
Yeah, you've got to go back to your core in midfield, start going for it. Well, we're behind now. There's no point playing with the three centre halves. We're not protecting anything.
So Liam Henderson introduced to the fray with 20 minutes remaining here at the National Stadium. Liam Fontaine gets a seat on the bench. 20 minutes to go. It's Rangers 2, Hibs 1. Wallace. Stevenson's there. Keatings can't win it. Sorry, it's played out though by Wallace for a throw into Hibs on this near side. Midway inside their own half. David Gray looking for some movement, not really getting it. Forward for Keatings. He does well. Surely fouled there by Wallace, but the referee says no. McGeoch's done well to win that. Halliday knocks it off. And Rangers get another dubious free kick on this near side. Unsurprisingly, it's Halliday that hits the deck again.
Yeah, I don't think he needs too much encouragement to go down onto the deck. As you say, 2-1 up, they're just trying to slow the game down.
He's had every decision like that so far from Stevie McLean today. Harry Mackay for Rangers on this near touchline, face down by Fraser Fivey. Plays it in nicely to Wallace, edge of the box, throws it back to Miller. Miller gets it back again, tips the ball through for Waghorn, cut out well by Paul Hanlon. Hanlon's fouled there by Dean Shields. In fact, he's not smart than Waghorn. No, it wasn't, it was Dean Shields. He's going to get a wee word from the referee McLean. And Conrad Logan will get the opportunity to play the ball long. 19 minutes remain of the 90 plus whatever's added for stoppages. Rangers 2, Hibs 1. Andy Halliday breaking the stalemate.
The worrying is we've slowed down a little bit since going behind.
Forward by Logan again for Stokes on that far side. He's up against Hibernian, does well, he wins the throw-in. Hibs have a throw-in on the far side in line with the Rangers 18-yard line. Stokes leaves it for Stevenson, quickly taken from McGeoch. Back to Stevenson. Stevenson out to Stokes in the far touchline. Stokes will look to bring Henderson into the play. He does. Nodded out by Tiernan. David Gray needs to win that. He does. Dean Shields has left it behind, but he manages to do enough to play the ball out to Danny Wilson. Kenny Miller's under pressure on this near side from Darren McGregor. Finds Dean Shields. Shields to Holt. Down the far touchline now to Waghorn. Waghorn faced down easily by Lewis Stevenson. Good challenge by the Hibs fullback. Waghorn's gone down injured. Played forward into the feet of Stokes, nicely out for Henderson. Henderson, can he drive forward here? He can't. Tackled and beaten by Tavernier. Waghorn's still down on the far touchline. Tavernier plays the ball in, it's given away though. McGregor out to Dylan McGeoch. McGinn now with a chance to push forward for Hibs from halfway. Threads it through for Keatings, can't get there ahead of Rob Kiernan. Fotheringham just rolls the ball short to Danny Wilson.
Come on,
to Lee Wallace. Wallace to Miller on this near touchline and gets it back. Played back in the direction of Kiernan to Wallace. He'll go back all the way to Wes Fotheringham, I'm sure. Fotheringham plays the ball out to Kiernan on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's faced down by Anthony Stokes. Kiernan chips forward. Kenny Miller's beaten by David Gray. Fivey can't win the second ball. Dean Shields nods it in, but Darren McGregor can't get there. McGeoch wins the second ball, gives it away to Miller. Neither team can keep a hold of it for very long. Liam Henderson picks up though for Hibs. Drops it off now for John McGinn. McGinn chips forward for Keatings on this near side. Keatings will get there in this near corner. He's faced down by Danny Wilson. Fivey short of him if he needs him. Rolls the ball back to Fivey. Fivey will square it for Dylan McGeoch. McGeoch wide to Stevenson. Stevens got Henderson outside him on the far side of the 18-yard box. Henderson drops it off for Stokes. Stokes chips the ball to the back post. Gray's there. nods it back over, flags up for offside. David Gray had just gone too far, Connor.
Yeah, I think
he was. Yeah,
probably was just offside.
Flag was up very quickly and probably the right decision.
It was the right idea from Anthony Stokes to play that clip ball.
Another
to the
change
back
for
post.
Rangers. Martin Waghorn's races run. Nicky Clark will be introduced in place of the Rangers striker.
Well, you can see he's got some ability, Martin Waghorn. I think he's still looking a little bit unfit at the moment. And I think Lewis Stevenson will be quite happy to see him go off, because there's a couple of times where he picks that ball up on the right hand side. He likes to run at him, but he's done well against him, Lewis Stevenson, though. But
I wonder if Nicky Clark will go central now and Kenny Miller will go out to that right side.
Yeah, I reckon that might be the change, because Nicky Clark is more of a poacher, a box player. Kenny Miller likes to zip him out, even at his old age. Still got the legs in him to play in those wider areas.
Free kick to Rangers from just outside the 6-yard box. Will be taken by Wes Fotheringham. Driven forward. Hanlon does well to win it. Henderson can't get there ahead of Jason Holt. Lee Wallace finds Holt again. Holt squares it to Halliday. Halliday rolls it back to Kiernan. 15 minutes remaining. Rangers 2, Hibs 1. Miller plays the ball back to Tavernier. He cuts away easily from John McGinn. Tavernier challenged by Paul Hanlon. Hibs stopper gets a touch on the ball and it careers harmlessly through to Conrad Logan. He brings the ball to the edge of his 18-yard box, drives it forward, right-footed from hand. Stokes again up against Tavernier on that far side. As well Stokes to bring the ball in. Rolls it back to Stevenson. Stevenson will centre it to McGeoch. McGeoch's got David Gray square of him on this near side. It should have been out to him 10 minutes ago. Hibee rolls it through for Henderson. McGinn for Stokes, needs a decent delivery. Stokes, can he take on Tavernier? He does. Chance for Stokes. Shot comes in too high. He got too much on it, Anthony Stokes. He'd done everything right and then the shot was dreadful.
He's done it again,
he's got far too much on that. Lifted it high over the crossbar. What a chance.
You just need to get your body over it, keep it down, keep it low and hard. There's bodies in the box. If it clips off of somebody, Fotheringham's not going to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's got the chance and he's gone high. He needs to go low and hard.
You've just got to show composure in those situations, the same as he did when he first scored.
Alan Stubbs shaking his head there as well. Ball driven forward by Fotheringham. Hanlon in the challenge with Nicky Clark. Ball out for a throw into Hibs on the far side, 10 yards or so inside their own half. As ever, when you're a goal behind in a cup final, time is your enemy.
Obviously Liam Henderson and Anthony Stokes on loan from Celtic. The new manager, I'm sure, will be watching, seeing how they're getting on, and the chance for them to show
McGinn's done brilliantly there. He's got away from his man. He's got Stokes outside him again. He's gone inside for Keatings. Ball's not going to fall for him. Can Henderson win the scraps? Jason Holt. Oh, never in a million years, Stevie McLean. That's a shocking decision. An absolute stinker of a decision from the referee there. Liam Henderson's hardly touched him there, and that's a free kick it's given.
That's just two players battling for the ball, in my opinion.
That's poor from Stevie McLean. Liam Henderson gives Stevie McLean a wag of the finger as if to say that you're making them up. Wallace now for Rangers on this near side. Forward, Gray gets a challenge in, does well. David Gray can't win the second ball. Fivey's in there challenging. Gray stabs it forward. Keatings gets possession. Can he roll it back now for Fivey? He's gone into the box for Stokes, but it's too much on it, and Fotheringham has enough about him to see where it is.
It's ambitious, James. You've got men inside again.
He could have rolled that one shot to Fivey. Jason Holt now with a chance to push forward for Rangers. Plays it into the feet of Shields, but he's lost it. McGregor drives forward into the feet of Keatings. Keatings shot back for Fivey. Fivey in the centre circle, plays it to John McGinn. McGinn's got Stevenson outside him. Henderson though takes it short. He'll play it out on the far side to Anthony Stokes. Stokes to Stevenson. Stevenson. Henderson's gone in an offside position. McGinn, edge of the 18-yard box. Can he find the room for a shot? Threads it through. It's cut out. Henderson can't win it. McGinn there tries to win it back, but it's Barry Mackay for Rangers. Danny McGregor does well. Good work by McGregor. McGinn will pick up for Hibs. Finds Fivey. Scrappy, but Hibs win it. Fivey can't get the crossover. Hibs will have the corner though. Ball out off Danny Wilson, corner for Hibs on this near side. Can Hibs get back on level terms from this set piece?
Well, we scored against them from a set piece last time. You know, they can be a bit weak. Hibernian switches off at them. Paul Hanlon exposed that Easter Road earlier on this season.
Henderson will take the corner. It'll be right-footed, out swinging. Needs a good delivery to the near post. It's in the net! It's in the net, and it's Stokes again! Near post header from Anthony Stokes, and we're all square again here at the National Stadium. Rangers 2, Hibs 2.
Well, doesn't he just love a goal against Rangers? The Celtic boys done it. A great header in the top corner. It's a great ball in from, I think it was Henderson that swung it in. And I tell you what a game we have now in the final 11 minutes.
Paul Hanlon looks like he's struggling a little bit on this near touchline corner.
It doesn't look like they're going to be replacing him. I think he's just getting seen to a little bit.
That's a great ball in from Liam Henderson.
And
he's
I think
gone.
It's once again, it's Hibernian that switches off.
He's come too far. He's just mistimed the run in the lane.
A little dunt from Stokes there just to make him, there he is. Not a foul, but just pushes him under the head.
It's a good finish from Anthony Stokes though. And we're all to play for again here at the National Stadium. Hibs in possession now. Will that lift the team in green and white? Will Rangers tire? Will it catch up on them? McGinn gets possession, plays it comfortably down the near side for David Gray. Hibs need to keep the head here. This game's here for the winning now.
Come on, Hibs, it's here.
Ivy drives forward out to Keatings on this near side. Keatings, edge of the 18-yard box. What can he do? Plays the ball in. It's not a great ball in. Halliday just slaps it clear though. McGeoch picks up for Hibs. Rolls it again to Keatings near side the 18-yard box. Gray's outside him. Lovely ball. David Gray, time. Ball comes in. It's not a great delivery again from David Gray. It's all Hibs at the moment again. Note Hanlon back there. Henderson can't win it. Hanlon didn't get it. He's out of position now. Chance for Rangers though to push forward now. Dean Shields. That's a great challenge from David Gray. Superb challenge from Gray. Hurt himself. But that was a real skipper's challenge from David Gray. Hibs in possession now down the far side with McGeoch. Gray's overstretched there. It's Gunnarsson's being told to get back. I think David Gray has done himself some damage there. Paul Hanlon will play this ball out on the near side and Hibs will be forced to make the change. It was a cracking challenge from David Gray, and that was a real one for the skipper to take.
Well, as you say, he got caught up the park because he overlapped for James Keatings and he had to make his way back to make that challenge, and it's a great tackle. He's done excellently. I think it was just the way Dean Shields has landed on him, I think. Well, he initially looks like he's about to get up.
Yeah, he is up, but he's back on his feet. I wonder if David Gray's fit to continue.
I think he's just winded. I think Dean Shields has landed on him. Well, Gunnarsson's still stripped.
Nicholas Gunnarsson's stripped and ready to come on, but I think he's...
I'm not sure if John Doolan knows that Gray's back on his feet yet.
Might just hold off on that one. He's a hardy character, David Gray.
I have to say, what a captain's performance from David Gray.
That was a challenge and a half. Yeah, he is. He's just kind of looking like he's winded. No, it's Paul Hanlon that is being replaced by Nicholas Gunnarsson. I did say that I thought Paul Hanlon was struggling a little bit, and with Liam Fontaine having been sacrificed, you've lost your left-sided central defenders now.
Yeah, well, we were told when Gunnarsson came he could play on that left if needed. Maybe he's alright on that left foot, but as you say, well, you're centre half, you're in the centre, you just need to keep your wits about you.
Win the ball and get it clear corner. It doesn't matter how you do it. Rangers should give possession back to Hibs here. Yet the ball driven forward by Andy Halliday into the 18-yard box, and Conrad Logan picks it up at the edge of his 18-yard box. He drops it, drives it forward right-footed. Stokes, 2 goals, a hat-trick hero. That's got some rhyme to it. Stokes though hasn't won it. Stevenson does, McGeoch does rather. Rangers will have the throw in on the far side, just a couple of yards inside the Hibs half. 7 minutes of the 90 remain here at the National Stadium. Hibs have the throw in now.
I don't think my heart can take this now, Cliff. What a performance from this Hibs side though, to come back from going behind in a cup final.
Character, Connor.
Absolutely.
Forward from Hibee to Henderson. It's a tough ball for David Gray, who's struggling a wee bit.
Yeah, just took it the first time. Maybe should have just taken his first touch, calmed it down, let Gray get up the park a little bit.
Throw into Rangers on the near side, midway inside their own half. Lee Wallace gets it back from Jason Holt, plays it in for Halliday. Halliday will go long down the far side for Tavernier. McGinn gets across to try and cut it out. Ball through for Dean Shields. First touch isn't the best. He's forced back the way. Hibernian drops it back off again for Shields. Shields finds Halliday out on that far side. In fact, it's not, it's Nicky Clark, the substitute. Out off McGinn, throw into Rangers on the far side, midway inside the Hibs half. Tavernier will take. Shot for Halliday. Tavernier gets it back. Hibs need to stay alert. Tavernier tips it in, cut out well by McGeoch. McGinn does well, forces it up the touchline, looking for Stokes. Wilson plays it all the way back to Fotheringham. Fotheringham will get it down the near side here to Lee Wallace. Wallace forward down this near touchline to Mackay. Mackay should be policed by Darren McGregor, and he is. The ball doesn't go out of play. Wallace picks up again. Mackay threads it into Hope. Mackay gets it back at some speed. Ball in for Miller. That's only one hand he's used there, surely. Keatings plays the ball up in the air. It's a bit of a nobody ball. Henderson and Stokes can't win it. Halliday plays it out on the far side to Tavernier, and he'll play it down the far side to Nicky Clark. Clark well beaten by Lewis Stevenson. Stokes back there does well to win that. Ball stays in play though. Nicky Clark just keeps it in play on the far touchline. Chips it into the centre circle where it's picked up by Danny Wilson just inside the Rangers half. Wilson to Wallace. To Stokes. Sorry, to Shields. Flag up, surely. How far offside was he? He's in the box. He's dragged the ball out over the byline though, and Hibs will have the goal kick. And it was a bit non-committal there from Jason Holt, who looked offside in the first place, but then ran the ball out over the byline.
Just looked a bit caught in two minds about what he wanted to do. Did he want to try and draw the foul from Dylan McGeoch? Did he want to play a ball into the box? In the end, he does neither, and he's ran it out for a goal kick.
Conrad Logan will take the goal kick from the far side of his 18-yard box. Drives it forward, right-footed. It's well won by Kiernan. Ball's over the head of McGinn. Clark wins it. Knocks it down for Halliday. Clark and Halliday linking up well on that far side. McGeoch forces Halliday back the way. That's going to go out of play though. Throw into Hibs on this near side. Poor ball from Andy Halliday. Rangers looking a wee bit ragged again with 4 minutes remaining. The Hibs support can sense something here, Connor.
Well, you know, we've got that goal to put us back on level terms, and do you fancy us to get the goal in it?
Keatings, shown too much of that to Wallace. Shields has lost it to McGinn. He was lucky to win it back there, Dean Shields. Rolled back by Halliday to Fotheringham. Fotheringham rolls the ball out to Kiernan at the edge of the 18-yard box. Fotheringham gets it back, drives it forward, right-footed. It's aimless. Gunnarsson will pick this one up for Hibs. Plays it forward nicely to McGinn. Turns away nicely. McGinn gets himself a little bit of space. Back to McGeoch, just inside the Hibs half. McGinn again. Tips it forward. Keatings, can he get there around the keeper? He can. Good work by Wes Fotheringham. He kept a close eye on that. Bowls it out quickly to Tavernier. Hibs need to close that space down, stop the ball getting forward. It's played down that far side. Gunnarsson does well up against Kenny Miller. Ball out for a throw into Rangers on the far side, midway inside the Hibs half.
I don't think Rangers fancy playing extra time here. They're really trying to push forward and get that one up.
Throw shot for Tavernier. Hibs need to close that down. The ball through. Good work by Nicholas Gunnarsson. Last ditch challenge, but Rangers have a corner on that far side. Good challenge by the Norwegian defender.
Just need to sharpen up a little bit, closing the passing lanes.
Hibs need to keep things tight. It's dangerous stages here for both sides.
Yeah, you never want a set piece in these last minutes.
2 minutes remaining, plus whatever's added for stoppages. It's Mackay that's come out on the far side.
Somebody's got to pick up Kenny Miller.
Yep. Hibs need to keep this tight. Set pieces into the box can be dangerous. It's in. Stevenson clears. It's going to find its way to Tavernier. Get out there and close that down, Hibs. Well,
it's a foul.
Stevenson gone down inside the box, is it?
I think it's a head knock.
Yep. Who's down?
I think it's Lewis Stevenson. Gray's up.
Yep. Physio called on. Yet the doctor as well.
Oh, he looks in a bit of bother there.
He's absolutely been flattened. You see what happened here.
Oh, it's Gray
a collision
himself.
between Gray. He's been in the wars, the Hibs skipper.
Now the worry is
Lewis Stevenson that he caught.
Yeah, Lewis Stevenson's down on the deck. David Gray's up on his feet. just the two of them. David Gray tried to go for the header. You know, he's following Kenny Miller and Lewis Stevenson and David Gray coming at the corner of each other's eye, just running to each other. Now the worry is, I think Lewis Stevenson looks in a bit of bother here. And have we used all three subs?
We've got Gunnarsson on, Henderson on,
and Keating's on.
Keating's on, yeah. All three subs have been used. Lewis Stevenson's back on his feet.
If there's a man on that
one of these ones, ask him how many fingers you're holding up and then tell him
tell him his belly. Well, I think if there's a man out in that park that'll continue playing, you know, maybe a limb missing, it's Lewis Stevenson.
He'll not want to leave the field, Lewis Stevenson.
You're going to have to drag him off like they did, I think, a couple of months ago when he was...
Well, we're going to see how many minutes are added on here by Bobby Madden. It's going to be 4 minutes by the looks of it.
I reckon that's probably about right.
Lee Wallace rolls the ball back to Fotheringham. Fotheringham plays it out. David Gray will win this one hopefully against Nicky Clark. He does, but the ball drifts out for a throw into Rangers on this near side, midway inside their own half. 4 minutes it is. The 90 minutes have come and gone here at the National Stadium. 4 minutes to be added. Shields back to Kiernan. Tavernier pushes forward down the far side for Rangers. Ball played into the path there of Jason Holt. Gunnarsson's gone out to cover it. Just needs to stick tight to him. Stabbed in for Tavernier. It's well won. Finds its way back though to Clark. He centres it to Halliday. Halliday will play it wide down the near side here to Lee Wallace. Wallace plays it down the near side to Nicky Clark. Miller back to Clark. Forced back to the halfway line. Clark's under pressure from David Gray and he's given possession away. David Gray needs a quick throw in. He's got the ball into Fraser Fivey. Can Hibs get forward from here? Can Fivey find Stokes? Oh, Stokes has had to drag back. He's at the edge of the 18-yard box though, Stokes. Anthony Stokes, shot! Oh, what a save again from Fotheringham! Anthony Stokes, inches away from giving Hibs a lead.
As well as that, the touch from Fotheringham.
Save again from West Fotheringham.
Almost into the path of James Keatings, who'd only have to tap it home.
Corner again for Hibs though, they scored from the last one. Can they repeat it?
Stokes for a hat-trick here.
Henderson, ball floated in. So Hibs head is on! The ball's in the back of the net and Hibs are in the lead in the Scottish Cup final!
No danger!
Unbelievable!
Is it David Gray?
It's the skipper David Gray that's got the ball in the back of the net! Oh my goodness me, Connor!
We've seen it done to us and now we've done it. A goal in injury time in a cup final.
Oh, what do you do now? What do you do now? 3-2 ahead in stoppage time in the Scottish Cup final. Is this the moment?
114 years. Could it be coming to an end here? Oh my word.
Well,
the heart is racing.
Bye, let's get our breath back. There's still a couple of minutes left here. Hibs need to keep the head. They need to keep it tight. Rangers 2, Hibs 3. We're on the verge of history here at the National Stadium. Come on, Hibs, for once. Just keep it tight.
Oh my word.
They need to just get this ball. Keep possession. Dylan McGeoch's won it.
Hold it, Stokes. Hold it.
He's looking for the run for Keatings.
Into the corner.
He's played it down into the corner. That's a clever ball from Stokes. Fotheringham does well. Rolls the ball out now to Danny Wilson. Hibs need to keep it tight here. The ball out on the near side to Barry Mackay. Keep it tight, Hibs. Ball goes in long. It's going to go out for a goal kick on that far side, and it does. And that's what you want to see. The ball long from Barry Mackay has far too much on it. And Hibs will have a goal kick and an opportunity to waste a few more seconds.
Just got to slow this down, Conrad. Don't rush it. Don't put that ball down the middle. Get it wide into the corners. Make somebody chase it. Get Stokesy to hold
Alan
it.
Stubbs telling the players just to keep the head and think about it. Just keep possession. The ball forward. Can Hibs win it? Stokes is in there. Shields is beaten by McGeoch. Free kick to Rangers.
Got that ball cleared though. Does he give it to Hibs?
Yeah, he's giving the free kick Hibs way. I think, yeah.
Into the last 20 seconds of
That's
the
exactly what you wanted. Hibs just need to keep the hold of the ball here. We're in the dying embers now.
Yeah, I reckon you'll see a little bit added on, but I don't know how long. It's not been much apart from the goal. The 4 minutes is up.
The stoppage time has come and gone. Now Hibs just need to get this ball forward and keep a hold of it.
Come on, Hibs, hold on to this, please.
It's forward. It's a poor ball. Hibs need to win it. Whistles in Stephen McLean's mouth. Hibernian have won the Scottish Cup! Let me say that again! Hibernian have won the Scottish Cup! It's been 114 years! And now it's not even been 114 seconds! At the mouth of the tunnel. Connor's gone into selfie mode here.
Sure we all need to get one at some point. Team selfie.
Excellent, I've left my phone over there.
George Craig and Taff waving up to us there, lads, you missed it. I acknowledge them on your behalf though, don't worry.
There he is, waving again, go on.
Well, I was saying to them in the press room earlier on.
Taff's enjoying himself down there.
Said I turned on Sky Sports last night and I found the football years with Anthony Stokes scoring against Derby for Sunderland and Taff in the dugout for Everton.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
It's an omen. That's an omen, and there it is.
You know something, I actually, about a couple of weeks ago, I was looking through one of my betting sites and I bet a horse at £1. It was called Cup Final. It won at 16 to 1. It's 2016, by the way. Is that an omen as well?
David Gray leads the Hibs team back out into the presentation area. I don't think they're going to go.
I'm assuming our Rangers not coming out for the runners-up medals.
The referee and his assistants are being presented with their medals. Stevie McLean, I thought in fairness had a pretty decent game today. There was a few debatable free kicks, but other than that I thought he did well. He played a really good advantage for Anthony Stokes' opening goal. He could have brought the play back there.
A couple of soft free kicks at times, but on the piece there was no real questionable decisions. He spotted Martin Waghorn's dive early on, but he maybe should have booked him, but he didn't.
So we're just waiting on that big shiny silver thing getting brought out. The Hibs players in front of us at the mouth of the tunnel, bouncing about like dafties down there. And the Hibs fans singing when the Hibs go up to lift the Scottish Cup. We'll be there. They are. They're all back in their seats now. And history is about to be made at the National Stadium. Never before has a Hibs skipper lifted this trophy in this stadium.
We're about to see history made here.
I'm hoping I can for this big grating thing that's in front of me.
Yeah, I think we can just about see it. You've got the big screens at Hampden that'll show it, but you don't want to see it on the screen, do you? We're here at Hampden, we want to see it in person.
Then
there's the plinth coming out.
We'll have to nip down the stairs and
it is.
Have a wee chat with whoever we can have wee chats with. The Scottish Cup has been placed on a plinth and David Gray is about to lead the Hibs team up the stairs here at the National Stadium to lift the 2016 Scottish Cup. Up he comes. David Gray, followed by Lewis Stevenson and Paul Hanlon.
Two great servants of the club. I hope they enjoy it as well.
David Gray shaking a few hands. He gets his winner's medal. The Scottish Cup is lifted off the plinth. Lewis Stevenson fittingly is there. I wonder if David Gray's going to allow Lewis to lift it with him. What a terrific gesture if he does. David Gray lifts the Scottish Cup, and Hibernian have broken 114 years of bad luck here at Hampden Park. 2 goals from Anthony Stokes and 1 from the skipper himself, David Gray. Hibernian beat Rangers 3-2 and are the 2016 Scottish Cup winners.
Well done to every one of those players out there, because they gave everything to come back from that 2-1 down.
Conrad Logan, what a cheer he gets.
Wouldn't be here without him
Jason
either.
Cummings making a bit of a meal of it. Fraser Fivey, the same. Dylan McGeoch, a huge grin on his face. Let's see Anthony Stokes, the 2-goal hero. Big kiss for the trophy. Huge roar for Stokesy. James Keatings with a daft hat on. Martin Boyle as well with a daft hat on. Darren McGregor, Hibs through and through. Absolutely delighted for him, Connor.
Oh, absolutely. You know, as you say, Hibs man, grew up in the area. So it's something you dream about as a boy, to be the one that wins the cup for the club.
Nicholas Gunnarsson came on in place of Paul Hanlon. John McGinn, what a cheer he gets. Liam Henderson, hear this for him. Superb cheer for Henderson. Marvin Bartley will be another. Chris Dagnall, what a moment for him. John Doolan, thinking of his dad, absolutely brilliant.
Gesturing, that's for all for the fans there.
Taff Holden, Alan Cohn, the goalkeeping coach, and finally Alan Stubbs. Never has, in my opinion, a manager deserved this so much. 114 years and he becomes the man to break the hoodoo. He points to the Hibs fans and says, this is for you. And now the party can begin.
I can't quite believe we've seen Hibs players lift the Scottish Cup.
And we're going to go quiet here, Connor, because Sunshine on Leith is about to be belted out. Let's just listen to this. Wow. Just wow.
That's tear to the eye stuff.
Unbelievable stuff.